Is controversial anti-corruption crusader Paul O'Sullivan running from South Africa? Why he's suddenly selling his 12.5 million rand Bedfordview mansion and refusing to testify in Parliament has shocked the nation. In this video, we expose the real reasons behind his dramatic move to London, what might happen next, and whether South Africa will call in Interpol to bring him home. Stay tuned. Welcome to Mzansi PoliScope, the channel that breaks down South Africa's biggest political stories without fear or favor. If you want truth, clarity, and real talk on corruption and power, drop a thumbs up, subscribe, and turn on bell notifications now. Paul O'Sullivan has officially put his luxurious multi-level Bedfordview mansion on the market with a price tag of 12.5 million rand. And make no mistake, this is not just any house. This property sits in one of Johannesburg's most exclusive eastern suburbs, an area known for wealth, security estates, and powerful business figures. The home is built high on a hill, offering sweeping panoramic views of the city, carefully designed for privacy and prestige. Inside, the residence stretches across multiple levels and covers roughly 2,285 square meters. It features extensive garage space, multiple entertainment areas, luxury finishes, staff quarters, and ample parking for guests, clearly built for high-profile living and private gatherings. The mansion was reportedly acquired through a complex company structure, adding another layer of intrigue to an already controversial figure. Now, here's the part that raises eyebrows. This sale comes while O'Sullivan remains in London, claiming security concerns and refusing to return to South Africa to testify in person before Parliament. So South Africans are asking one big question. Why sell such a prime, high-value property now unless you don't plan on coming back? That timing is very interesting. So who exactly is Paul O'Sullivan, and why does his name trigger so much reaction in South Africa? Paul O'Sullivan is an Irish-born forensic investigator and anti-corruption activist who has lived and worked in South Africa for many years. He built his public profile by exposing alleged corruption within the police, prosecuting authority, and political structures, often positioning himself as a fearless whistleblower fighting powerful interests. Over time, O'Sullivan became deeply involved in high-profile cases, supplying information to investigators and watchdog bodies like IPID, and regularly engaging with the media. Supporters see him as someone who speaks truth to power. Critics, however, accuse him of operating behind the scenes, influencing investigations, and making serious allegations without always facing consequences himself. Love him or hate him, one thing is clear. Paul O'Sullivan is no small player, and his actions carry national consequences. This is why his story matters. This is where the controversy truly explodes. Paul O'Sullivan has been called to testify before Parliament's ad hoc committee, a body tasked with investigating serious allegations of police corruption and political interference. But he has made one thing clear: he will not appear in person. Instead, O'Sullivan insists he will only testify virtually from London, claiming that returning to South Africa would put his life in danger. He alleges that appearing physically in Cape Town would expose him to potential assassination attempts, a claim that has sent shockwaves through both Parliament and the public. He has openly rejected accusations that he fled the country to avoid scrutiny, arguing that he is simply continuing his international business activities while prioritizing his personal safety. However, members of Parliament have pushed back hard, stating that Parliament is not a courtroom that bends to personal conditions. He has gone further, saying that if Parliament attempts to subpoena him, his legal team will challenge it in court. He maintains that he has explosive evidence that would shock the nation, but only if he is allowed to present it remotely. That defiance has not gone down well. And now the question grows louder. Is this about safety or avoiding accountability?
As expected, O'Sullivan's refusal to appear in person has triggered a political firestorm. His name has now been dragged deeper into public debate, parliamentary tension, and serious counter-allegations that refuse to go away. One of the biggest flashpoints involves KwaZulu-Natal Police Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. O'Sullivan has publicly accused Mkhwanazi of corruption and criminal links, allegations Mkhwanazi strongly denies. In response, Mkhwanazi has taken legal action, launching defamation proceedings against O'Sullivan, while O'Sullivan has countersued, turning the matter into a high-stakes legal battle watched closely across the country.
To this now, forensic investigator Paul O'Sullivan has filed a counter-defamation lawsuit of 10 million rand against KwaZulu-Natal Commissioner Lieutenant General Nhlanhla Mkhwanazi. This after Mkhwanazi filed a defamation lawsuit of 5 million rand against O'Sullivan last month. In court papers before the South Gauteng High Court, O'Sullivan argues that he was accused of unspecified crimes by Mkhwanazi and was labelled an agent working for someone else, adding that Mkhwanazi insisted that the country must not sit back and be allowed to be run by him. O'Sullivan denies the allegations are unsubstantiated and wants Mkhwanazi's lawsuit to be dismissed with costs.
At the same time, questions have been raised about O'Sullivan's relationship with IPED, South Africa's police watchdog. Critics allege that he wielded undue influence behind the scenes, shaping investigations through his information and connections. Both O'Sullivan and former IPED officials have denied that he controlled or directed cases, insisting he was merely one of several sources. Beyond the courtroom, some politicians have gone even further, questioning O'Sullivan's motives, his international movements, and the power he appears to hold despite not being an elected official. This is no longer just about testimony, it's about influence. What's clear is this: the fallout has pushed O'Sullivan from whistleblower to central figure in one of South Africa's most uncomfortable political debates. Now, this is the question many South Africans are quietly and sometimes loudly asking. Is Paul O'Sullivan running from justice, or is he genuinely protecting his life? On one hand, O'Sullivan says his decision to remain in London is purely about safety. He claims he has received credible threats and believes returning to South Africa would expose him to serious danger. From his perspective, selling a high-value property could simply be a practical decision while he continues his work abroad. But critics see a very different picture. They argue that selling a 12.5 million rand luxury mansion, refusing to testify in person, and threatening legal action against Parliament all point to someone avoiding direct accountability. They ask, if the evidence is as explosive as he claims, why not face the committee head-on? There is also growing frustration among lawmakers who say Parliament cannot be dictated to by individuals, no matter how powerful or well-connected they are. In South Africa's constitutional democracy, appearing before Parliament is not optional when formally summoned. This is where the line gets blurry. So the debate intensifies. Is this a man under threat or a man trying to stay out of reach? Here are possible outcomes moving forward. He testifies virtually and drops bombshell evidence. Parliament subpoenas him, leading to legal standoff. SA courts issue an arrest order, potentially triggering an Interpol notice. His reputation is either destroyed or hardened depending on how events unfold. One thing's for sure, this saga is just getting started. South Africans are divided. Some view O'Sullivan as a fearless whistleblower exposing corruption. Others see him as someone who avoids accountability and is now selling his luxury home to escape consequences. Is it team whistleblower or team accountability? His case reflects a bigger issue in the country: how we handle powerful figures in politics, crime, and justice. So what's really happening? Paul O'Sullivan's mansion sale, years of legal fights, and refusal to face Parliament in person paint a complex picture, one that may redefine how whistleblowers and controversial figures are treated in South Africa going forward. If you want real, uncensored updates on this story as it develops, subscribe to Mzansi PoliScope and hit that bell. Comment below, should Paul O'Sullivan be forced to return to SA? Share this video with friends who want to understand the truth behind the headlines.